But the fact that I also want my channel to succeed. I was amazing, one of the best players till today. I'm not a quitter. One thing about, and I'm also enjoying the L'Oreal Revitalift. The campaign I was on, their night cream.
Oh yeah.
Go to your bank statement. It's going to tell you about your personality. I don't know how I smell. Oh, like I was obsessed with my dad, and he was equally obsessed with me. So of experiences, but my husband taught me that number one, when you fight, there's no need to scream, there's no need to be. You can come to me and vent about the smallest things. I will hear you, not because I relate, but because I'm a girl and you're not a girl. But I'm also just enjoying different boots this season. It's very nice, very, very nice. I'm enjoying. At a very young age, you start saving. Don't be like me. I made very big mistakes, many mistakes when I was young. It's the fact that not everyone is supposed to be with you forever. Yes, there can be those best friends that you can do your whole life with, regardless of your illness. You really have to be conscious. You have to be intentional about how you spend your money. And I think those things do happen. It's not that it's a lie.
Yeah.
They do happen, but I think it's just basically you marrying the wrong person. Because there's absolutely no way that, oh my God, I've eaten mokodu everywhere all over. My mother's
Mokodu is the one. Hi guys, welcome back in the kitchen with myself Obi, and I'm not alone today. I'm with Untwaki Unaiza. If any Niza gang is around and watching us, hello, we are also greeting and recognizing you. Hi Twaki, how are you?
Hi Pussy, I'm well, thanks, and you?
I'm good, thank you, I'm good. Thank you so much, Mama, for agreeing to this and coming to shoot with me today. I'm so excited.
I'm also very excited. Thank you for having me.
Before we start, I would like us to have a toast. We have a drinky here. Today we are using a zero sugar. Because why not? I'm joking, I didn't find the normal one. So,
but
have you had it before?
Not the zero.
Not a zero
net,
flavor
as well. Cheers! Let me taste.
It's not bad.
It's not bad, but you can't even taste any sweetness. It's like they didn't even put anything.
Yeah,
sweet.
the sweetness are equal. The flavor, the normal flavoring and everything is there. It's just the sugar that's not there.
Oh no, but it's
Which,
nice.
truth be told, it's actually good for us.
It is good for us.
If you would have to describe your life using food item right now, what would it be?
Food item right now.
The space you are in your life right now, currently, use food to describe that.
A seafood dish. I think I'd use a seafood dish. I don't know if it's a pasta or what, but something seafood, because I feel like I'm a bit calmer this year and I'm flowing like a fish in the river. I think
love that.
This year I'm a bit calmer.
All right.
Thanks.
I love that. Actually, that's very nice. Thank you. All right. We're going to be making a chicken dish. We're not making fish. I wish I was making fish. We're going to be making, it's a Marry Me inspired pasta dish. Show you the ingredients. We'll go through our ingredients. We're going to be having our conversation and getting to know Twaki better. Actually, I didn't even introduce you. Twaki is a YouTuber and she's a content creator. She's on Instagram and TikTok. I'll put her profiles on the description box. Please make sure to follow her and support her. All right.
Thank you.
Let's go through our ingredients. Obviously, our main or protein is going to be chicken. And our pasta, we're using penne pasta. And we're going to have some sun-dried tomatoes, some cream, spinach, butter and garlic. It's kaftin. Some basil sauce. It's not actually basil pesto. It's not pesto. To season, our main seasoning, it's salt and pepper. Some, what's this?
It's a paprika.
Paprika powder, garlic powder, and some Cajun spice. These we're gonna use to marinate our chicken. Yeah, we're gonna start with. I also have shallots. There's somewhere we're also gonna be using shallots. That's the only thing we are chopping. We are working smart here.
We have to work smart.
Yeah.
And there's also tomato paste.
Yes, and some tomato paste. Here's our shallot. But yeah, talking about while we're on the food, what is your comfort food?
Pizza.
Pizza.
Yep.
Ooh.
My favorite, all-time favorite.
Right.
And it's my favorite because I used to work at a pizza place
Is it?
as a waitress.
Which
And
pizza place?
the first pizza place I worked in was St. Elmo's in Sentin City, but it's no longer there. So if you know KFC in Sentin City, the food court,
Yeah.
that KFC,
Yeah.
upstairs and downstairs. So it used to be called St. Elmo's Restaurant.
Okay.
That was my
Yeah, pizza. I love pizza. Mine is pasta.
pasta.
Yeah.
I also love pasta, but pizza first and then
First
pasta.
pasta. Okay. So that's our comfort food. And then, where did you grow up? You're from Northwest? No?
Yeah.
Northwest.
Yes. So I'm from Northwest, Lichtenberg, a small town called Lichtenberg.
Lichtenberg.
But I was born like 30 minutes away, in Kutusong Hospital. And we lived between Lichtenberg and Kutusong when my parents were still married. That's my primary school, mostly. That's where I grew up. But the rest of, from 12 years old up until matric, I grew up in boarding school in Rustenburg.
Oh, you also went to a boarding school? Yes.
Yes.
Boarding school games here?
Yes. So yeah.
So you said when your parents were still together.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming they separated.
Yes, they divorced. They divorced when I was, I think, 15, 10 and 16, somewhere there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how was that for you as a child?
Horrible.
Especially teenager.
Yes. No, it was horrible because I was a daddy's girl. Oh, like I was obsessed with my dad and he was equally obsessed with me. So it broke me. It was horrible, horrible. But yeah, we survived it.
Yeah, you sure
survived it.
did. You,
Yeah.
your mom and your sister
Yes, we
are living your
survived it.
best lives and thriving. Like I said earlier on, we don't have a lot of chopping. Chopping the shallots and also the sun-dried tomatoes. Did you move to Joburg, or wait, did you come to study the site, or you came for work?
I came for work initially. Okay, I moved to Gauteng, to Vaal, when I went to study
Yes.
in Vaal University.
Yes.
But I didn't finish because my mom didn't have money. After my parents divorced, my father decided to be a deadbeat.
Like, I wonder what causes that. Like, the relation, it feels like once the relationship is done with a woman, also with
They
your
divorce their
kids
children
as
and I'm
well.
like, it
It's so
doesn't make sense.
unfair.
And I think that was one thing that I really struggled with the most because, like I said, I was a daddy's girl.
Yes,
you know?
this is a person you were looking for after school, getting home, you're so
Absolutely.
excited to see your dad
You
and all of that.
understand?
And girls, when they are girls' dads, like they really,
We are
really.
there fast.
Exactly.
And our dynamic at home was the fact that I was closer with my dad. My younger sister was closer with my mom, you know? And that was just a dynamic. Not that they were favorites, but that was
Yes.
the dynamic. So it was difficult for me not to have that parent that I'm very close to anymore. you know,
Usele
to
wedwa
adjust.
manje.
Oh, yeah, Eva. So
Yeah.
that's what happened. So, but anyway, I moved to Joburg from Vaal to come look for work.
Yes.
And the first jobs that I had in mind as a student was, you know, to get into retail, whether working at a clothing store or working at a restaurant. So we went to Rosebank back in the day to look for employment there, and that's where I started working. Yeah, as a waitress. My first waitress job was at Primi Piatti in Rosebank. If
Oh,
you
yes,
remember.
yes.
That's where I
And Primi
worked.
was still big back
It was
then.
big back then, but I didn't last there. I was there for like days. They fired me, but I don't know how to sweep. Listen, Jad, when I'm a black girl, when I'm a black girl,
And you don't know how to sweep.
there's absolutely no
I
ways. What
know.
is that, Boozy?
Then other reasons.
There are other reasons.
They just
Absolutely.
didn't want to tell you. That doesn't make sense.
Absolutely. Then I moved to a coffee shop called Codes Coffee Food, which was right next to YFM back in the day.
Oh,
So we used to see all
the celebs. You're like, now made it. And you said,
Yes,
oh,
I'm inside. It was very exciting, actually. When did you move to?
I came
Joburg?
to study I think 2009. Yeah, 2009. Because when I came initially, I was studying at UP.
Oh,
Then
okay.
I had to move to TUT.
Oh, okay.
Just to finish a thing in my studies, because I was like, you know what? For me, it was a lot of reasons. I was to blame.
Okay.
And also I found that it was financially strained for my mom. I was like, now this is not making sense financially being at UP, because it was accommodation, it was school
Yes.
fees, it was books, and just the cost of living. So I was like, yes, just to give this woman a break, me move to TUT. And I was able to get NSFAS at TUT. And
amazing.
yeah, and I also got RES. So now obviously RES is also under NSFAS. Then I could just focus on studies and not worry about about the cost of living and
yes.
studies and all of that.
And
Because
stressing
it was a struggle to get NSFAS at UP. It became too much. I was like, yeah, we're not gonna make it here if I try and force things here. So I understand when you say you went to study and finances can really get hard.
Oh, they definitely. And I also experienced a similar thing with the NSFAS back in the day. They only funded my first year. In the second year, they didn't fund me. Hence, I had to come here to look for employment.
You see, guys, being a black child in this South Africa, I don't know if things are better now. I really don't know. I hope they are. But it wasn't easy.
No, it
during
wasn't.
my time funding,
So sad.
yeah, it is very sad. We are quickly gonna marinate our meat.
Wow, Busi does that. I've got a question for you.
Yes.
What did you want to study growing up?
Growing up.
Or what was your dream career?
So, Mina, growing up, truth be told.
Yes, that's what I want to hear.
Growing up, what I really, really wanted
Yeah.
was to be a choreographer.
Wow.
I love dance.
Are you serious? I didn't see that one coming.
I know.
Really?
I love dance.
Oh,
I wanted to be a choreographer. Not even a choreographer. I wanted to be a dancer. Let me just say that. Honestly, that's one thing I remember Ubusi as a child. You know when you watch awards,
Yes.
those girls used to perform on stage
I
and
know.
it used
So
to...
wait, did you dance ever?
No.
When you were young?
No.
You never danced at all?
No, of course we did dance. Like, you know, you make your smaller groups in the community.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember there was a time we were with the girls who were neighbors.
Yeah.
So only time actually I got to live that. So we formed a group and we did dance. And yeah, so honestly, Mina, that's what I wanted to be. That's one thing. I don't remember wanting to be a doctor.
Nothing like that.
Nah.
Okay. So then how did you choose your current career?
I wanted something that has money. I wanted something.
You as a person.
Yeah, I wanted something. At that time,
Yeah.
it was being a CA.
Right.
Because initially I was in a CA stream.
Yeah.
And actually I did speak about it on my previous episode.
But that means you were good with math and accounting.
Yeah,
to
I
get
was.
into that.
Yes, I was. What did you want to be?
Honestly, don't remember wanting to be something specific, ne?
Yes.
But I do remember when I was in primary school, there was a time when my mom and my aunt asked me what I wanted to be. But I was very young, maybe 6 or 7 or 8.
Yes.
I said I wanted to be a doctor. But then afterwards, as I grew up, my dad decided for me what I want to be. Like I said, I was very close to him. He said he
Yes.
wanted me to be a social worker.
Okay.
So throughout high school, I was like, okay, not high school, maybe when I was like 13, I
Yes.
was like, okay, I'm going to be a social
Social
worker.
worker.
But when I finished matric or close to matric, I was like, I actually don't know what I want to do. Then marketing was popular. I think because
Yes.
of Generations. If you guys watched Generations back in the day.
Oh, yes, when the
Remember?
communications.
That was a new career thing as well.
Yes.
It was introduced to us as black people. We didn't even know that side of the world.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get into marketing and advertising because it was exciting, but I also thought I was a creative at heart. You know, so that's what I wanted to do. And that's exactly what I studied for.
Yeah,
I
no.
registered that in Val.
Okay.
Yeah.
So somehow you are still in the marketing space.
Somehow I landed, I ended up being in the marketing space via content.
Yeah, we are still marketing.
Yes.
We are still in the market.
That's true. See how God works.
Yeah, but besides, like now, in terms of career, like you, if you are looking back and looking at Untwaki as a young girl, how would you describe yourself?
As a young girl, maybe the things that I loved, I was very athletic.
Okay.
So in school, I was an all-rounder. So I did all the athletic sports that you can think about. As short as I am, I did long jump, I did javelin, I did high jump. All of those things, I did them. And I also played sports. I played netball. I was amazing, one of the best players. Till today, I still am because I used to play netball after work, after hours rather. Prior to COVID, it was just after COVID. Yeah, I used to play netball. So I still play netball.
So being active is not new
not
to
new.
you.
It's
Okay, it
in
makes
my
sense
ways.
actually. It's in your DNA.
It's
Your
in my
muscles, they
DNA.
know what is
Absolutely, yes, and I've got endurance like naturally, so I can go on for a very long time.
Okay, now it makes makes
So
sense.
that was me. That was my passion. And I also remember wanting to be the next Serena Williams when we introduced to the Williams sisters.
Yeah.
We just didn't have tennis as a sport in school, so I would have taken tennis
As well.
I wanted to play tennis.
Sometimes
yeah.
that's guys. These schools we went to.
But also not coming from a rich family, so your parents don't invest in your creativity or your passions, nothing
Yes,
like that.
there's a trend. If you listen to all the people who have done it, who are doing well, parents were backing them.
Absolutely.
drop off. Those who wanted to debate, their parents will say, my mom was making sure I go to those debates. Those who wanted to model, those who wanted to do whatever. So it's very important, Shem, as a parent, to support your child in whatever they wanted to do. Yes, and just Michael Jackson, the dad, as toxic as he was, the reason we had to Michael Jackson is because of the dad. Yes. Oh, Whitney
Houston.
Yes. Yeah,
That's
it's
very
because
true.
of the dad. So it's
Yes.
very important as a parent to really invest in your child's.
And nurture their talent. Whatever they say to they want to do, whether it's musically, whether it's acting, whatever.
Yeah.
Make an effort. Take them to classes if you can. But
Right.
now it's even easier. You don't even have to pay a lot of money. Put them on YouTube. Let them take music classes. by YouTube.
Exactly. That's so
very
true. We're gonna be boiling our pasta. What? Oh yeah, it is prep. All right, Bulwat, come through. So we're making penne.
Yes.
Came to Joburg to study, to work, but now you find yourself being a wife in this Johannesburg. You find yourself some.
I came to find a job.
Yeah, now we are busy being a wife. Where did you meet hubby, and how long have you guys been together?
We met at the gym.
Yes.
So we are
I
both
remember
gym
that
fitness,
story.
yeah. 8 years married, together 10 or 11, but 8 years married. That I know for sure. I always
Yeah,
have to
one-
ask him.
Umjolo awunyisi like that, guys. Akubhede.
Shut up, guys. It's manageable.
And what have you learned about yourself in marriage?
In marriage, what have I learned about myself? That I'm teachable.
Okay.
That I'm teachable.
That's a nice thing.
Yes.
Is it a skill or character to have? Yes.
That I'm teachable because naturally I've got a stubborn trait. Yes, naturally.
Nenkani.
Yeah, Nenkani. My mother will tell you. She's shocked probably that this marriage has survived so long.
But your hubby seems like he's a calm person. So you'll be fighting. It looks like you'll be fighting by yourself. So I no choice whether you need to.
Absolutely. But you see how God works. He will pair you with somebody that's going to be your perfect match.
Edge.
Because that's exactly what he is to me and what I am to him. Because
Right.
we are two different personalities.
You balance each other
But what
out.
he does more than anything is he comes my personality down. Very stubborn. I had my own ideas of how Njolo should be like,
Look.
how we fight, because of experiences. But my husband taught me that number one, when you fight, there's no need to scream, there's no need to go to bed upset.
You can communicate what you are feeling and what
yes.
is frustrating you, what you are not happy about.
Absolutely. But he taught me to do that calmly. I don't have to always be at the top of my voice or get very angry. Yes, you're
yes.
upset, but calm down. Communicate to me clearly. Let me hear you. I hear you. I know you're upset, but talk to me nice.
That's nice. That is nice. Talking about that, I'm assuming those are one of the things you love about him. What other things that really attract, besides the looks, besides everything, you like, you know what, this man, I'm gonna marry him. When he even asked you to marry him, that made you say yes to him?
His relationship with his mom, how he treats his mom. Yeah, how he treats when I was in an environment with him and his mom together. That's how I saw. Then I was like, yeah,
Mnyeni wami lo.
right.
That's nice. That's
Yes.
beautiful. That's very important.
It's very,
because
very
you know
important.
sometimes it shows how he's also gonna treat
Absolutely.
you. How he's gonna
Yes.
if he thinks his mom is a kanda, a
Absolutely.
guy who's angry at their mom, or a guy who speaks about women
Negatively.
negatively,
Like very negatively. No.
you must be scared because it's them now. You are next.
Absolutely. No, that's
You are
very
next.
True. That's very, very true.
Yeah, and then talking about marriage, what is one thing that you feel like people misunderstood about marriage?
I think there's just a lot, I think there's just a lot. But I think one maybe that stands out is the fact that people think marriage is oppressive.
Right.
Especially for us women, that every marriage is oppressive. And
Yeah.
it means that when you're getting married. And I think those things do happen. It's not that it's a lie.
Yeah.
They do happen, but I think it's just basically you marrying the wrong person.
Yes.
Because there's absolutely no way that anybody that adores you and loves you is going to
You.
oppress you in marriage.
Yeah.
No. What's
If
the difference? You guys are
anything-
in Jolo. How did you treat you? This is when you get into marriage.
Because nothing changes, right?
Nothing changes. You see, and people like to deny that because you saw him. You saw him that he was a ticking time bomb. That one, but you still go ahead and you marry him. What do you expect him?
That's
so
so
I think
true.
that's one of the things that people think marriage is oppressive for women. I don't
No.
think that's true.
Yeah. Choose your partner wisely.
Very
Choose your partner wisely
wisely,
because
Bafazi.
a person who loves you would
Yes.
want to empower you. A person who loves you would want to see you grow. They would help you. In fact, They'll invest in your growth, in your crafts, in everything that you do, in your ideas.
Absolutely.
They'll be there cheering you on.
There will be your soft landing in every sense. So you will be there soft, I don't know, everything. That's what a person that loves you does, regardless of what happens. Because you guys are going to go through life experiences. You guys are going to change, of course, as time goes. But you should not change to be my enemy.
Yeah.
No, we change for the better. You know,
That's so true.
Absolutely. So when you choose right, you made it right. And I think the most important thing, listen to that gut. Because I always say that gut feeling is the Holy Spirit speaking to you. Listen to your gut whenever you meet a person. Before you even say that, yes, listen, what does your gut tell you? Because that gut is not wrong.
Done with our chicken. Now we are moving to making our sauce. Your content is around skincare, beauty, makeup. Lifestyle, fitness, actually, should we say? Like, I think it deserves a pillar on its own. When you started content, what made you start creating
Content.
Yeah.
Like you to make money. For me, it was just after COVID or during COVID, actually, and I wanted a side hustle, you know. And the first thing that came to mind was, you know, create something online.
Yes.
And then makeup was one of the first things. I learned how to do makeup and then create those videos.
Oh,
and
so
then
you learned doing makeup on YouTube?
On YouTube specifically. And I saw it was a big thing in the US and in Europe, you know. And I thought, oh, okay, I can also do that here. That's how I stumbled upon Abu Mhlali, Abu Kayams as makeup girlies.
Yes,
and they were doing the same thing, and I was so fascinated. Because before COVID, I had no idea of this world.
Would it exist?
In South Africa.
COVID really did make the space grow, or the YouTube space grow. That's when we knew about South African creators who were there even before COVID. So
absolutely.
So you started your channel then 2020 or 20 afterwards?
Afterwards, a bit afterwards, yes, because I was learning for a while just to do.
You were just learning, okay.
And then after I was a bit comfortable, that's when I started.
Like, I've learned
YouTube,
this, let me teach others.
Absolutely. But as I was learning the makeup videos, then I stumbled upon vlog, which I also didn't know about, guys. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I know you talked about it. But for your audience, I wonder.
I'm sure you know. I'm sure you were not. Mina, I didn't know about vlogs in South Africa. I was telling Twagi earlier on that there was one lady. I only watched one lady. She was an American. Like, I used to camp on her channel and watch that lady. She did a lot of natural hair content. I think, I must look, because I've forgotten her name, yes. I think after then, that's when I discovered South Africa. I never looked back. That's when I stopped watching her, actually. So it was that time, that's when I learned about YouTube, and I was just watching her vlogs, and she was vlogging her life and everything. I was like, oh, fascinating. It's nice watching vlogs. Because now it's like you're watching this person and they're teaching, they're sharing their lives, their life lessons. It's like, oh, this is nice and fascinating. So, and then you start your channel.
Yes. Then I decided, instead of just doing makeup, I decided to do vlogging.
And also, vlogging instead of like, so you didn't start with sit downs?
No, I didn't start with sit downs initially, not at all. And that's actually something that I wanted to do as well. But I quickly realized that I enjoy vlogging versus just sitting down and talking to the camera. Yes.
And what have you learned through this journey of being a YouTuber and vlogging about yourself and Jay?
I think what I have learned since I became a content creator is the fact that I'm creative. Growing up, I did not think that I'm creative. I didn't think I've got a creative bone in my body at all. But ever since I started this journey, number one, the makeup side showed me that I am creative. I'm like, oh, okay, clearly I'm creative. I'm talented.
Multi-talented.
What I've also learned ever since I've been a creator is the importance of community.
Right.
We were talking about it earlier, that I realized why it's important to have a community, whether in your personal life or in your career, or in whatever space that you're doing. And also what I have learned is the fact that I am resilient, because this space...
If you had missed that, I was going to tell you for you. I'm sure you have learned that you are resilient, young lady.
I didn't know. That I'm resilient, because one thing about YouTube, guys, it will teach you patience ngenkani.
Yeah.
You will learn to be patient, okay?
Yes.
Because I thought I'm just gonna post like 3 or 4 vlogs and then I'm gonna pop. And let me tell you something. The year that I started my YouTube is actually the same year that Snegugu started her YouTube. In fact, the same month, year and month, we started at the same time. And prior to that, I didn't know her as a content creator on Instagram because I wasn't big on, you know, following content creators like influencers. I did not know her. So I stumbled upon her channel the same time that I started.
That's it.
And then she quickly blew. And I thought, oh, okay, I'm next. If she can, it's a love. Why is this girl growing so quickly now?
I'm not. What am I doing wrong?
You know? And I almost quit. I don't want to lie. I almost quit because of that. But I thought,
yeah, I was about, my follow-up question was going to be there. What has kept you in the space, even when maybe you didn't get the desired results?
What kept me, number one is that the fact that I'm learning new skills and new things about myself. And especially the skills part. I mean, prior to me being a lifestyle blog, I couldn't film. Now I can call myself a filmmaker. I didn't know how to edit.
Yes.
You know, I learned that skill as well.
Yes.
I didn't know that I could communicate so well. Now I can speak. I'm confident in front of the camera. All of those things. So the fact that I learned different skills, that's what kept me on. But the fact that I also want my channel to succeed.
Yes.
I'm not a quitter. One thing about me,
finish what you started.
Finish what I started. And this channel will succeed.
Amen. Yes. And that it will. That it will. I always say it will. Because you really put a lot of effort in that. And they always say,
absolutely.
There is no way. It's not time yet.
It's not time yet.
And it always makes sense when things happen, you know exactly. Maybe there's just a lesson you still need to learn. And once you have passed that lesson or you have learned the lesson you're supposed to learn, then you move to the next level.
Absolutely.
You work hard. You put a lot of effort on you are consistent. You are showing up week in, week out. So there's no way God will let you just.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm holding on to. That's what keeps me going. But above all of that mentioned, I think it's also one of my favorite hobbies now. It brings me so much joy. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
I mean, my husband and I don't have children. It's just the two of us at home. And I realized that also outside marriage, I need a hobby. I need a life.
Something that is yours.
Yes, I can look back and say, I did this while I was married. You know?
Yes.
I didn't lose myself in my marriage as well. So that's also
actually, I think maybe it has also been good for your marriage. But you have hobbies.
I have hobbies. Yes. And he's also seen me. Yes. And he's also a little bit part of the hobby that he's not always part of it, but he's also been part of it, and it's nice. It's nice. It keeps me busy.
Yeah, no shame.
It's nice.
One thing about I think content creation is that you need to be resilient.
Oh,
you need to love it. You need to love it.
You need to love it. Don't just do it for money, because if you do it for money, you might be lucky. You might blow up and be lucky. Yeah. But you know, you don't want to bet on luck.
Yeah.
Or it might just be God opening that door for you.
Yes.
You don't know, but yeah.
We're talking about content creation and how it's been not an easy journey. How have you taken care of your mental health in this space?
By not comparing myself. I know it's very difficult not to.
Yes.
But the sooner you start to stop comparing yourself, the better for your mental health.
You know what I always say is that unfortunately with us, our job is in public. Our KPI is public. How well you are performing.
Yeah. Guys.
It's public. Who and who can come and... Because I always wonder, like, it's always the thing we all have like friends, ex thingy. I always wonder, or people who just don't like you like that. I always wonder, because putting yourself out there, it's embarrassing. It can be deemed as embarrassing. Like, wenzani? What are you trying? What do you think? What do you think you're trying? So there's also that maybe it's not something that is there, but it's something that you feel sometimes. What am I doing? You know, sometimes we judge ourselves harshly. Yes. So I always wonder, if there are people who are coming who don't like me like that, who come and watch, and maybe they are just monitoring, but how are the numbers doing?
They absolutely are. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in. They absolutely are. Some people will, even if they hate your guys, they will watch you.
Yeah.
I mean, we see it with big creators.
Right? respect creators so much.
So much. Putting
So
yourself
much.
out there,
Yeah,
guys,
putting
is
yourself
not
out
the
there is
easiest
not
thing to
easy.
do.
And I like what you said, which you know now you know about your edit, you know so much. People don't understand what putting a vlog together, the skills you come up, and also it inspires you to live life.
Yeah. Oh no,
Vlogging,
that's so true.
it makes you to live. You
That's
live life. You have to live because uzofaka ntoni kwi-vlog.
Absolutely.
If you stays on the couch the whole weekend,
Absolutely.
you will get yourself up. You will start living and as part of, not to say now you are living life just because of vlogs, but obviously now vlogging inspires you to live your life, to do the things you love,
Try new things.
as
Yes,
well
that's very,
that you
very
wouldn't
true.
necessarily try.
Absolutely.
Because you know what, you also want to show up for your community. You want to share like these things with your community.
Absolutely. That's the benefit of vlogging, actually. You're quite right.
Yes.
I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
For example, also, if you are an introvert and you're not very sociable, in this environment, you're sort of forced to be social.
Yeah.
So you also break that thing, which can also help you then maybe in your corporate job.
Yes.
If it was very difficult for you to do presentations.
Yes.
Or just be out there, put yourself out there to be known because you want to grow. This
Yes.
space can help you to tap into that.
Yeah.
I definitely think so.
Because you know what, being shy and being timid in the corner, it has never helped anyone.
Especially in corporate.
Yeah, so in this will help you really to put yourself out there.
Absolutely.
As difficult as it is, but you learn.
You learn.
You
my
learn.
babes. That's very, very true. We can see Ngabo Grace Mondlana. We
Right?
can actually see. It's very true.
Is there a meal that you have eaten maybe long time ago or recently and you're like, that dish was amazing, and where was that?
You know what, Ne? You know that I like going out and eat out
Yes.
at restaurants.
Yes.
But I always come back and say nothing beats my mother's food. Like if I can tell you my favorite dish or something that I really enjoy is my
Yes.
mother's cooking. And she can make the simplest thing in the world, but her 7 colors,
Plus.
her traditional foods, oh my goodness.
Very
Oh
shy.
my god, I've eaten mokhodu everywhere all over. My mother's
Mokhodu
makes
is the
best
one.
mokhodu in the world. With that pap, it slaps like I don't know what I'm eating. The most amazing thing in the world. That's one. But also underrated, Kota Yase Moja Cafe.
Oh yes, I've been wanting to try it.
Please
I've
try
been
it.
wanting to try
Please
it.
try it.
It looks so
Oh,
nice.
please try it.
I've seen it on
Yes.
videos and
Yes.
I've like, yes, then
It's underrated. Try that Kota from Moja Cafe.
Okay.
Amazing. It's good.
Do you love cooking? Do you enjoy cooking?
You know what? When I was younger, I hated cooking because I went to boarding school, but also because my mother forced me to do chores and I
Chores.
didn't want to.
Why
But
didn't you
now,
want to do chores?
because they spoiled my boy cousins. We grew up with my boy
Oh,
cousins at home.
yes.
They were not forced to do anything. They would just wake up and just
yeah.
carry on with their lives.
Oh,
we
yeah.
had to cook, clean, and I was like, what is this? So I protested a lot, but she forced me, and I'm glad that she forced me to learn how to cook and all of that. But also because I grew up in boarding school, we never used to cook. They cooked for us.
Yeah,
you know.
everything was provided for.
Absolutely. 100%.
What did you learn?
In boarding school.
boarding school.
That is the number one thing that I learned. Independency. I mean, I had a bank card at the tender age of 12. That is unheard of, especially in the black community.
Yes.
Well, in the black culture, it's very unheard of.
Yeah.
But the independency and also meeting people from different...
Because you're coming from different worlds, like
Yes.
provinces.
Yes.
I was in KZN and we had people from Gauteng in our school.
I experienced, being with foreigners as well in our boarding school. Very, very nice. I also learned that you can be independent men in boarding school. I think that's one of the most important things that I learned, because I had to wake up, wash myself, get myself ready for school, and all of those things. And the fact that I can not work with different people,
You can coexist with different characters,
yes,
personalities.
absolutely.
Because
That's
abanye, they
very
were
true.
moody and you were sharing a dormitory with them. You needed to... Actually, that's a big one.
big one, because it's not your sibling.
Yes.
It's different sharing a room with your sibling. at
Siblings,
home.
yes.
But as
now,
stranger,
yeah.
That's
a big one, actually.
And also, it was easy for me to make friends, Mina, in school.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very easy. I'm still friends with
Yeah.
very close friend with
Yeah.
one, actually, but I'm cordial with others. We
Yeah.
still keep in contact.
No, I'm also still
Yes.
very good friends with my thingy, with my friends from high school.
Yes.
Like, we are sisters for life. For
That's
life,
very
so I
nice.
understand that. You were mentioning that you had a bank card. Talking about money, I want us to talk about money. What is one thing that you know for a fact that you are wasting money on?
That I'm wasting money on.
Your guilty
To pleasure.
pleasures, yeah.
Alcohol. That is a waste. We can
Yeah.
deny it all we want.
And it's expensive.
Yes, but that's why I opt for cheaper alcohol. I don't have time to be buying more years. Please, guys. Unless it's a big celebration, I can buy that. Yeah. So I buy affordable alcohol, but it does waste money.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of money because I buy affordable alcohol, but it is something that I know that I'm wasting money on. I can curb on a bit and reduce the drinking a bit. Okay. Also to save my liver. Oh, bad.
Oh, poor liver. Saw my liver for the first time this year. I did the procedure. Yes. They put a camera. My liver is so beautiful, guys. Even if
it's healthy.
If healthy, yeah. I was like, how after so many savannas?
She made it out.
She made it out looking so healthy, and I was shocked. Nice. I'm sure the doctor didn't understand. Why is this one so excited? Because I know what I was doing with that liver. Yeah. And then what money lessons have you learned in your adulthood?
In my adulthood, I've learned the fact that money is energy, number one, right? Money is energy, and you have to be conscious about how you spend money, how you use your money.
Yes.
Regardless of your earnings. Regardless of your earnings, you really have to be conscious. You have to be intentional about how you spend your money. You have to check your bank statement. You can't just live without checking your bank statements. That's how absolutely. And that's how you learn your personality actually about your bank. Go to your bank statement. It's going to tell you about your personality actually. You also have to make sure that at a very young age, you start saving. Don't be like me. I made very big mistakes, money mistakes when I was young. So make sure that you save from your first job. Sana, Noma, you earn 1.5, take that 20 rand and throw it on the side. You will thank yourself later. And it becomes a habit.
And talking about saving, seeing that money grows, it inspires you so much. You like you want to keep that account growing.
You want to, even when it's difficult, right?
Yeah.
Even when you find yourself in a difficult season of your life, you definitely know that even if it's
at least there's something
I'm going
there.
To throw it in there.
At least there's something.
Absolutely, it keeps you going, and also it helps you to dream when you have savings.
Yes,
it helps you to dream because you know that if I could save 50K this year, it means that I can save.
As a married woman, what have you learned about what have you learned in that space, sharing finances with your husband is essential?
I've learned that honesty is very important. I know we joke around about the fact that you're buying and hiding things from your man. It can be funny, but it can go sideways.
I think it depends what it is. Obviously, if you're buying small and things, you treat yourself, but you can't buy big things now.
Without big purchases, without him, knowing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I love honesty. That's so true, actually.
Honesty is one of the biggest things. We had to learn also the hard way that if we are not honest with each other, it can go left. So honesty and making sure that within our marriage, regardless of us having two incomes, we make sure that we live within our means. Live and breathe within your means, because if you don't do that, baby, you will suffer.
You will suffer.
You will suffer.
You will suffer.
That's what we have learned. And we've also learned the fact that although we contribute, we have two incomes in our household. It does not mean that we must live like we earning two incomes. We can try our best to make sure that we live maybe on one income and the rest you try and save. We've learned that. It's difficult, it's not easy, especially in this economy. But if you can tap into that and do that, it's going to take you guys far as a couple. I think that's one of the things that we learned. And sharing. Sharing when it comes to money in your relationship. Sharing I mean the fact that you are able to share the little that you have with your man. Whether or your vice versa. Share. Even if you go to KFC and you buy wings,
buy for him as well, buy for her as well.
You go to the shops, you buy yourself a belt, get a belt for him. You go to, I don't know, wherever you buy something for yourself, that's how you share.
It's small things as well. I like that you're even mentioning small things, because we can overlook that. You can just I'm treating myself.
Exactly.
If you were craving KFC or whatever, he might also want to have some.
Absolutely. Think about it at home. Don't you do that for your siblings? When you go to the shops, you've got a younger sibling, you will not get home with buying yourself only earrings. So what's different in a relationship? Do it that way as well. I think it helps a lot.
I'm also learning here. Love that. I love what you mentioned about living within your means. It's very important, because it's not only just saying sometimes situations changes, and if what you were getting today is not what you are getting tomorrow, and now when your expenses are up here,
that's how people fall into depression.
Up here, you can really find yourself in a very ugly situation.
Yes, quickly.
Quickly. So I've also learned that lesson. It really, I believe in living below your means.
It's lovely.
So
That's a big lesson. Yeah.
live below your means. Live below your means. Let's talk about friendship as women, as adults. What do you love about friendship? Let's talk about the positive before we go to the lessons.
Okay.
What do you love about friendship? Being in community with women.
I think I love the fact that it's feminine, because males are not feminine.
Yeah.
We get it. We can Google about the silliest things. We can connect and bond about makeup. I can't connect and bond with makeup with my husband.
Yes.
Or with a male friend. I can't. And I think it's easier for me to feel poured into by a girlfriend versus a male partner, whether it's your brother or your partner, whatever.
Yes.
So I think that's what I really, really love about girlhood. And I also love the fact that literally we can Google about anything
and everything.
And we get each other. If a spider walks in and we both scream, we get it. Nobody's going to ridiculate the other one.
That's so true.
The simplest and easiest things.
Just
That's
being
what
a
I
girl.
love about just literally
being a
being a girl and being able to hear me when I vent. Because
Right.
a guy he's listening, but is he hearing you? You can come to me and vent about the smallest things. I will hear you, not because I relate, but because I'm a girl and you are a girl. So
You
I
get
think
it.
you get it. I don't have to over-explain myself in most situations.
Yeah.
If we are really close.
That is so
I
true.
love that about girlhood.
Yeah, and what have
Yes.
you learned?
What I have learned about friendships
Ships.
is the fact that not everyone is supposed to be with you forever. Yes, there can be those best friends that you can do your whole life with, like a sister type of a setup.
Yes.
But not everyone is meant to be in every season of your life or within your life forever. It's unlike marriage or siblings, relationships. I think I've also learned the fact that you have to be intentional with your friendships.
Yep.
You have to be intentional. Show up for your friends. Guys, it does not mean money. It does not mean that you have to give me money. Just be intentional. If I say to you, I'm pregnant tomorrow, you have to show up for me. I'm different now. This life has changed. Absolutely. And it's a big change.
It's not business as usual.
It's not business as usual. Things are happening, So, and I've also learned that it's okay to make friends in your adulthood. It might not be easy, but also, guys, it's really not that difficult. I think we are making it dramatic when we say it's not easy to make friends in adulthood. Absolutely, it's not that dramatic.
Yeah.
It's doable. It's really doable. Yes. If you are intentional and you want it or you crave it.
That's the thing, you must want it and be intentional about it. And that's the
Yes.
only way it's gonna work out.
Absolutely.
You are in a social media space, you have friends.
Yes, I have friends.
Nomsa, no Judy.
Yes, that I have met.
Yes, who are also in this space.
Yes.
How is it, as a creator, why is it important to have friends who are also in this space?
I think it's important because we were chatting about it earlier, that we are able to have those conversations with creators because we are creators. Non-creators don't get it. For example, something as simple as taking perfect picture with a perfect lighting. My non-creator friend will never get it. And I've also learned not to expect that from my friends because that's what I used to expect.
Yeah, can be frustrating.
Can be very frustrating. But I've learned that having people in the same business as you, this business, is very beneficial. It's very important and I highly recommend it. I know there's cattiness, guys, but cattiness happens everywhere.
Yeah.
Whether you're a creator, whether you're in corporate, wherever it is, girl cattiness can happen anyway. So just because the creators or influencers are in the spotlight, not just because they're in the spotlight, now their breakups and their fights are public, unfortunately.
Yeah, because we are living a public life.
It's a public life. So if they are friends and they break up publicly, the public knows. But when in the background, you're not a creator. Don't you have fallouts?
Yeah.
You do have fallouts with your friends. But I've learned that as a creator, it's actually important that you have this community. And I'm not saying that it has to turn, every online meetup has to turn into a friendship.
Yes.
If it's organic, it's beautiful. And if it's got a dent, it's worse. Okay?
Yeah.
So, but other than that, have that community that you can bounce off of ideas of, or you can go and call me into like, I'm in your area because I'm invited to an event. Can you be my plus one? Things like that. You get me?
Yeah.
That's the benefit of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm learning to open myself. I think I was also saying earlier on, would say, because I think we're second or third generation of creators, we have seen how things have played out before. So now we are holding back. We are like, hey. You don't want to put yourself in that space. But now, like you said earlier on, we can allow other people's experiences to dictate
Absolutely.
our lives.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm learning as well. I'm
You're
learning.
doing well.
I'm
You're doing
learning.
very
As a fashion girly, what are you loving in fashion recently?
I don't know if I'm a fashion girly.
You do love clothes,
Yeah, I
yes.
love dressing
Yeah.
up. I love looking
Yeah.
cute. What am I loving right now? Because it's winter, I think I'm enjoying color coordination, especially this coordination.
This brown,
the
ne?
brown and the baby blue.
Blue. Oh yes.
I love how now
Actually,
we are
that's
playing
nice.
around with color. Ne? Versus before.
The colors are nice. Yeah.
Yes, I love mixing different colors, but I'm also just enjoying different boots this season. It's very nice, very, very nice. I'm enjoying boots. And what else am I enjoying currently? Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. That's what
Color.
I'm enjoying, yes,
Definitely brown is
color. Yes.
eating and
Very
yeah.
nice.
And boots, there have been a lot of boots, hey?
Yes,
Ankle
yeah.
boots, full boots.
Oh,
it feels
very.
like it's a staple that you need to have. You
Yes,
must have a good
yes.
boots in your wardrobe.
Absolutely.
Bafazi.
Absolutely, it helps.
It does
helps with
help.
dressing
I was also just like, I need to get myself another pair of boots.
Yes, it definitely does help.
And then with skincare, what one product you're like, ooh, skincare product that you love or enjoy? It's the brand or it's
Yeah.
a particular serum or
Yeah. I think when it comes to skincare, the most important thing that I can't live without is just making sure that I've got a good serum. Right now, what I'm enjoying, I use the Poshia I think vitamin C serum.
Yes.
I'm enjoying that. And I'm also enjoying the L'Oreal Revitalift.
Lift.
The campaign I was on, their night cream.
cream. Oh yeah. Your
Oh,
skin.
that night cream, you can feel it, man. They can really, really feel it.
It's even when you're
Yes.
applying it. Yeah, I need to
Yes.
try it
Oh,
actually.
it's
I need to try
amazing.
it.
It's good. That's what I'm enjoying.
I'm gonna show you guys just now our dish, but before we move that, what are your beauty rituals?
My beauty rituals is morning and evening skincare. Oh, definitely, guys. That for your face. Oh, definitely do that for yourself. And always making sure that I have a perfume.
Oh, yes.
Always making sure that I have a perfume. Those are my non-negotiables. Whether I have money or not, I make sure that I have those. I do those two things. Yeah.
My sister right here smells so nice, and
Thank
you know
you.
the sad part, she can't smell the perfume.
I don't know how I smell. Guys, I lost my sense of smell. Yes, it COVID. So I can't, even this amazing food, I can only taste.
At least you didn't lose your taste buds.
At least. I actually lost it, but it came back.
Came back,
The only thing
at
that didn't
least.
come
Go
back
back
is the
is a-
smell. Yes. Imagine.
And you imagine, I'm assuming you love your perfume because it's now even part of your
See,
ritual.
I do. Like from a young age, I've always loved, because my mom was a perfume, was very girly.
Oh,
Even the nails thing is
yes.
my mom. Nails, makeup, perfume, my mom influenced me.
Yo, that's so nice. I wish. Oh, my mom. See what other mothers are doing, Sissy.
It's okay. Hello, mom.
See what other mothers are doing. My mom, yeah. But I don't even lipstick. Mom was nje basic things on her lips, and yeah, that's a girl. I always wish I had a mom like that.
Like that, a girly
yes,
girl
a
mom.
girly girl mom.
That was my mom, but now she's no longer a girly girl.
Okay, let me show you guys. That's our meal pasta, guys. It's a chicken creamy pasta with some spinach and sun-dried tomatoes.
Oh.
Yep, can't wait. Oh, we are adding Parmesan cheese.
Parmesan.
Yes. Hopefully you enjoy it, and it's as
Oh,
nice.
I'm sure.
It is as nice as it looks.
The guy,
Yeah, unezim.
the Soto guy.
Yeah,
Really?
it's that time.
Yes,
It
finally.
is that time. Our meal is ready, and it's time to taste. Let's taste.
Let us taste Miss Boosie's food for the first time.
I'm glad you love chili, because I find it to be chili forward. Can you taste the chili?
I can choose it and I love it.
Okay,
I
perfect.
love it. It's not nice, it's good. There's a difference between nice and good. This is good, really good, guys. Love it.
Would you pay for this in the restaurant?
Definitely.
Nizweleke, guys, emakhaya. There's nothing more to say. Please do the honors, my lady.
Yes. Cheers to an amazing collab.
Also, congratulations on your collab with L'Oreal.
Thank you so much.
I was so happy when I saw that. I'm like,
Thank you,
yes,
Sissy.
to many more.
Thank you, Sissy. I receive.
Yes, to many more. Please, we can't put all the hours and time for just sweet maha. I forgot she was opening bubbles. Now I'm like, yes. Niles also came with some desserts. Let me show you guys our dessert.
Oh, yes.
Because we're not going to include that one here, but let me show you.
So cute.
We're going to have some cheesecake afterwards. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes, so cheers, my lady. Thank you so much. It's been lovely. I've enjoyed
lovely.
shooting with you, getting to know you better. And it's been amazing.
It's been amazing. It was so nice. It was so relaxed. And thank you for having me. Thank you for the invite. I'm honored.
Thank you for coming.
And I'm
You
glad
are
you
actually
asked.
such a very calm person.
I
Like
get that a lot.
Yes. I'm like, now I feel like near Papa. I'm like,
I'm glad.
you're just like a mellow, calm person. Yeah.
am.
You're such a lady.
I am. When I was young, I was not. I always tell people, not that I was not, but I was a bit rough on the edges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you've always been a lady.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I
Yeah,
have
no,
always been a
she's.
lady.
Yeah, no. That's one thing I didn't pick up about you on camera.
Mm.
In fact, on camera, you come across as your papa. And then in person, you're just
I'm a
like,
bit calmer.
yeah, karma, yes. Yeah, no. I learned something about you today that I didn't know.
A lot about each other.
It's
today.
actually, right?
toast.
Yeah. Yay. It's time to dig in, and
Yes,
that doesn't
guys.
include you guys. But otherwise, thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you've watched up until this point, really, we've had a beautiful day. Hope you've also enjoyed this episode. And please don't forget to love this video, share or comment your thoughts on the comment section, and please subscribe on both our channels, Naiza Babe and Busim Hlango. I
Yes.
will see you guys on the next one. Take care.
Bye, guys.